The bottom of your last breath. Take your hands outside your knees, closing your knees like a book. We'll draw our knees into chest, giving them a nice big squeeze and rocking side to side. When you're ready, you're going to roll over to one side and gently come up to seated. Good. Finding a comfortable seat, noting which foot is in front. We're going to take our hands to our knees and we're going to just do some nice big hip circles. Nice and slow. If you want to invite some cat and cow motion, your chest can come forward. As you go forward and as you come back, you can round the spine. Let's take one more rotation. Coming back to center. Let's go ahead and switch the orientation of our feet. Let's go the other way. Nice and slow. Get some head motion in there. Just nice and loose. One more rotation. Good. When you're ready, we'll come back to center. You'll roll over your knees, coming on to hands and feet. Sorry, hands and knees. Coming into a neutral tabletop position. From here, we'll drop the belly, gaze goes up for cow pose. Rounding the spine, we tuck our chin and tailbone for cat. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze goes forward. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round the spine. Coming back to neutral, we'll inhale here, drawing our deep low belly in and up. And as we exhale, we're going to take our gaze to our left hip as we make a crescent shape. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, take your gaze to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, back to center. Last time, exhale to the right. Good. Coming back to center. We're going to lift the right arm high. And then on our exhale, we're going to take a twist, taking our right hand behind the left wrist. We're taking our right ear to the mat. Left arm can extend forward for a gentle twist. Breathe here. One more breath. Bringing your left hand back in. Our right hand comes to meet it on the mat. Left hand will lift this time. And our exhale will thread the needle. Left ear, left cheek comes to the mat. Right arm extends forward. Bringing your right hand back in. Left hand comes to meet it. We're going to tuck our toes, lifting our hips for our first down dog of the morning. Now, if you're new to down dog or you're new to yoga, I'm going to just walk y'all through some basic things we want to be thinking about in our down dog. First of all, let's get our feet about hip distance apart, maybe 2 fists apart. If your low back or your hamstrings are really tight, gently bend your knees so you can shoot your sit bones up to the sky. Spread your fingers wide as we take our shoulders out of the ears and down the back. Lastly, our chin is gently going to tuck towards our chest. Let's explore this down dog for 3 more breaths. Beautiful. Think about pushing that chest towards our thighs. This should feel like a resting position. So if you feel a lot of pressure in your wrists, walk your feet in a little bit and shoot those sit bones, the bones that actually go in a chair, shoot them up to the sky. You might even need to be on your tiptoes a little more. Beautiful. At the bottom of your next exhale, we're going to walk our feet towards our hand, nice and slow. Inhale, find a halfway lift, taking our hands to either our thighs or our shins. Our gaze is down and forward. The bottom of your exhale, your knees will soften and slightly bend as we fold over our thighs. Head hangs heavy. Backs of the hands come together. As we pull our deep low belly in and up, we're going to roll all the way up to standing. Arms up, gaze up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Inhale it, sweep it up. Exhale, knees soften as we fold. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Exhale, knees soften and fold. Step back to your down dog. From here, we're going to bend our knees generously as we tuck our chin. Just like in cat pose, we're going to arch our spine as we spring through a wave into our plank. Head is the last to lift. Good. So from here, your knees can be up or down. We're coming through our chaturanga. So elbows hug into the ribs as we come through all the way to the belly, nice and slow. Keeping our hands planted, we're going to inhale and lift for a cobra pose. Chest lifts. Exhale, fold all the way back down. Tuck the toes, coming back through your plank, knees up or down. We're going to lift the hips up and back for down dog. So that's our first vinyasa of the morning. If you need to skip a vinyasa at all, please feel free again to go into child's pose. It is hot. I want to make sure that y'all are taking care of yourself and listening to your body. Let's take one more breath here. At the bottom of your exhale, let's walk our feet up to our hands. Inhale, find that halfway lift. Exhale, soften and fold. Backs of the hands, trace the midline. Let's roll it up. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, let's sweep it back up. Fold down. Halfway lift. And fold. Step back to down dog. Bend the knees. Let's roll through to your plank. Knees up or down. Lower through your chaturanga. Elbows hug in as we come to the belly. Inhale, find your back bend. Maybe it's up dog this time. Exhale and fold. Tuck the toes, come through your plank. Hips up and back. Down dog, 3 breaths. You've lost that ujjayi breathing. Tune back in. Fire up that breath. the bottom of your exhale, travel to the top of the mat your way. We'll inhale, find your halfway lift, flat back. Exhale and fold. Backs of the hands, trace the midline. Let's bring it up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Sinking our hips down. We're gonna find our first chair pose of the morning. So tailbone is gonna tuck. Wait for the helicopter. Great timing on the helicopter's part. All right, we're gonna pull that deep low belly in and up as we tuck that tailbone. Let's lose the duck butt. We don't want this arch. Want to tuck that tailbone. Gaze is forward. The bottom of your exhale, hands come through the center as we fold. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Step it back to your down dog. Bend the knees. Let's roll through to your plank. Lower slow. Inhale, find your back bend of choice. Exhale and fold. Tuck the toes, push it up and back. Down dog. Bending the knees, let's lift the right leg for three-legged dog. Drawing that knee into our chest, we're gonna plant the foot between the hands as we spin that back foot down. We're coming up into our warrior one. So with this warrior one, we're bending generously into that front knee. Arms are lifted, but we're gonna take a different arm posture with this warrior one. We're gonna bend our elbows. We're gonna take a pride pose. We're gonna lift that chest nice and tall, kind of like a superhero pose. Perfect timing. All right, let's take one more breath here. Really shine that heart forward. And at the bottom of your exhale, we're gonna fold down, framing that front foot as we step back into our down dog. Bending the knees, let's roll through to our plank. Lower slow. Find your back bend. And fold. Tuck the toes, push up and back. Down dog. Let's take a lion's breath together. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out the mouth. Bending the knees, let's lift that left leg high for three-legged dog. Drawing that knee into chest, we plant the foot between the hands, spinning that back heel down. We roll up, finding our warrior one with pride arms. So finding those bent elbows, shining that heart forward, maybe even finding a back bend. One more breath. Bringing our hands down around that front foot, we step back to meet the right. Let's take our vinyasa. We're gonna meet in child's pose. We're gonna bend the knees, rolling through to our plank. Lowering slow. Find that back bend. And fold. Bringing our toes together, hips back to our heels. Let's find our first child's pose. Forehead comes to the mat. Elbows can be lifted or on the ground. Remember, this is always the place we can travel back to. Let's take one more breath here. The bottom of your exhale. Let's come back up to our hands and knees. We're gonna tuck our toes, lifting our hips for our down dog. Tiptoeing our feet all the way to the top of the mat. We'll inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Backs of the hands trace the midline. Let's bring it on up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Sweep it on up. Let's take it down. Find your halfway lift. Soften the knees and fold. Step it back, down dog. Bend the knees, find your plank. Lower slow. Inhale, find your back bend of choice. Good. Exhale and fold. Tuck the toes, push it up and back. Down dog. Lifting the right leg high for three-legged dog. Let's draw that knee into nose, planting the foot. We're gonna stay on the ball of that back foot this time. We're rolling up into crescent, but this time again, we're taking those pride arms. Lifting the chest. Let's take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, lion's breath, side out. See if you can sink a little lower. Bringing hands back through heart center. We're gonna turn to the long edge of our mat, coming into goddess. So heels in, toes out, sink those hips. Beautiful. If you want, you can take your hands to your tops of your thighs. Just go ahead and find some motion here. Just working out the hips, loosening them up. If stillness feels better, stay right there. Taking our right hand to the inner thigh. We're gonna drop our shoulder and our right ear coming down for a twist. Make sure we're not pressing on the knee. Inhale, come back up. Let's take it to the other side. Left hand on the inner left thigh as we drop that shoulder and ear. Coming back up. All right, we're gonna switch things up. We're actually gonna turn into crescent to the back of our mat. So lifting that right heel. Arms lift as we cactus those arms, lifting the chest. And then as we dive it down, let's frame that front foot. We're gonna step the left foot back to meet the right, finding our down dog. Bending the knees, let's roll through to our plank. Lower slow. Inhale, find your back bend. Exhale and fold. Tuck the toes, push it up and back. Down dog. Lift the left leg high for three-legged dog. Taking that knee to chest, we plant the foot. Rolling up, we find our crescent with our pride arms. Breathe here, sink a little deeper. Good, bringing our hands to hips. We're gonna turn to the long edge of the mat again. This time, feet come parallel. We're gonna squeeze those elbows together as we fold into a wide-legged forward fold. Crown of the head towards the ground. Breathe here. Letting your hands come to the mat. We're gonna walk our hands to the front of the mat this time. Right foot forward. We're gonna roll up for that crescent just one more time. As we dive it down, let's take a vinyasa. Right foot back to meet the left. Bending the knees, let's roll through to our plank. Lower slow. Find your back bend. And fold. Tuck the toes, push up and back. Down dog. Let's take 3 breaths in this down dog or a child's pose. The bottom of your next exhale. Travel to the top of the mat your way. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Back to the hands, trace the midline. Let's bring it on up. Hands to heart center. All right, we're gonna add some strengthening. Let's sweep it up. Let's dive it down. Halfway lift. And fold. Step it back, down dog. Bend the knees, let's roll through. Lower slow. Find your back bend. And fold. Tuck the toes, come through your plank to down dog. Okay. Right leg high, 3-legged dog. Let's bring that right knee, tap the right elbow. Extend. Right knee to nose. Extend. If this is not for you, you can also always stay in down dog. Let's take our last tap. We're gonna bring that right knee to left elbow for a cross. Extend. Bringing that right knee to nose one more time. We're gonna plant the foot. Rolling on up. Let's find our crescent. Settling in here, let's catch our breath. See if we can lift our chest a little higher. Good. All right, we're gonna dip. We're gonna take one dip, lowering that left knee just about an inch over the mat. We're gonna extend. Hands come to heart center. Let's find our goddess again. Beautiful. Settling into this goddess again. See if you can sink a little lower. This doesn't have to be a stagnant posture. You can find some movement in here. If you'd like to explore maybe coming onto the tiptoes, lifting one heel, maybe the other. Good. Maybe both. We'll stay for just 2 more breaths. Good. When you're ready, let's go ahead and turn to the back of our mat again. Left toes forward, finding that crescent. Arms lift up, shine that heart forward. We'll take one dip here, lowering that right knee and hover. Extend. Good. Hands frame the front foot. Let's vinyasa. Left foot back to meet the right. Bending the knees, let's roll through to our plank. And fold. Find your back bend. And fold. Tuck the toes, let's find our down dog. Bending the knees, lift the left leg high. Knee to nose, let's plant that foot. Go ahead and lift up for our crescent, finding those pride arms. We're going to take that dip again, lower and hover that right knee. Extend. Bringing our hands to heart center. Let's come back. We're finding our wide-legged forward fold again. So turn to the long edge of the mat. Feet come parallel. This time, let's take our peace fingers. We're going to fold down and hook them on our toes, or maybe your ankles or your calves, whatever feels good for you. Wherever you are, see if you can rock onto the balls of your feet. Taking some of the weight out of your heels. Drawing the crown of the head towards the ground. Keep breathing. Inhale, let's find a halfway lift. Releasing that grip. We'll walk our hands to the front of the mat. Rolling on up. Let's find that crescent. Taking one more dip. We extend. Stepping our left foot up to meet the right. Hands come to heart center. Good. All right, we got one more flow before we start to slow it down. Arms come up. Let's take it down. Halfway lift. And fold. Step it back, down dog. Bend the knees, let's roll through to our plank. Lower slow. Find your back bend. And fold. Check the toes, push it up and back. Down dog. All right. Oh, and I just realized we didn't do abs on the left side. We'll do that. We'll get that in. All right, let's bring the right foot up. Three-legged dog. Bringing that knee into chest. Let's plant that right foot. Rolling on up. Let's find our crescent. We're going to spin that back heel down. Taking our hands behind our back. We're interlacing our hands. Pulling them down the back. We're going to lift the chest. If this feels like enough for you, stay here. If you'd like to dive it into humble warrior, you're going to take it down. Right shoulder comes on the inside of the right knee. Hands can stay on the small of your back, or you can begin to lift them off the chest. Off the low back. Mixing up my body parts. Draw that left hip forward. Good. Let the head hang heavy. One more breath. Rolling back on up. Let's bring our heels in, toes out. Let's find that goddess pose again. Bringing our hands to the tops of our thighs. Let's take those twists again. Let's go to the left first this time. So left hand on the inner thigh. We're going to dive that left shoulder, left ear down as we push against the left inner thigh. Breathe here. Inhale, come back on up. Let's take it to the right. Bring it back on up. Bringing our hands to hips. Let's turn to the back of the mat. Lifting up for a crescent. We're going to dive it down, framing that front foot. Left foot comes back to meet the right. We're gonna bend the knees, lift the left leg high. Let's take that core on the other side. So we're gonna bring that left knee to left elbow. Extend. Left knee to nose. Extend. Left knee to right elbow. Extend. Left knee to chest as we plant that left foot. We roll on up, find our crescent. We're taking that humble warrior again. So you'll spin that back heel down at a 45-degree angle. Bringing our hands behind our low back. We interlace those hands, shining that chest forward. Stay here or dive it down. Left shoulder on the inside of the left knee. Right hip comes forward. Hands stay on the small of your back or begin to lift. Breathe here. The bottom of your exhale, begin to rise on up. Feet come parallel. Yogi's choice, how you take this wide-legged forward fold. You can keep your hands interlaced if you'd like. You can bring them down to the center of your mat. You can bring them back to your hips, however you would like. We're gonna take a wide-legged forward fold. Again, rocking that weight into the front of your feet, drawing the crown of your head towards the ground. All right, at the bottom of your exhale, let's walk our hands to the front of the mat. Good. Bringing that left foot up to meet the right. We inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Taking the backs of the hands together, we roll on up. Hands to heart center. All right, good. Let's take a little balance before we come down to our seat. So we're gonna come into tree pose. If you have a variation of tree that you like and you know how to get there, feel free to take that now. If you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, lady, I'm gonna walk y'all through it now. So with tree, let's shift our weight to our left foot. You're gonna spread your toes nice and wide. We're gonna kickstand our right foot just to begin to find our stability. Find a drishti, something that's not moving. So it could be, my singing bowl or the cooler. Find that drishti, that focal point. If you feel like you can start to bring that right foot up to the shin, go ahead and take that now. Hands can stay on hips or be at heart center. If you want to bring that right foot up even higher, you can reach down. Make sure it does not plant on your knee though. It comes up on the inner thigh. Taking that right knee out, you'll feel a nice stretch here. And finally, if you want to grow your branches, you can. Do a nice sway. Beautiful. Let's take 2 more breaths. The bottom of your exhale. You're gonna gently release that right foot down. Shake it on out, shake it on out. Let's go ahead and take it to the other side. So we're gonna spread those right toes wide, shifting our weight. Let's kickstand that left foot. Again, find your hand placement. Find that drishti if you lost it. If you'd like to take it up a little higher. Or maybe even up to the inner thigh. Again, not on our knee. That standing leg is strong. That left knee is turning out. Maybe we grow our branches. Send into some energy to some of those trees that give us that clean air, right? That's what we're here for. take 2 more breaths. The bottom of your exhale. Let's bring that left foot down, shake it on out. We're gonna go ahead and come down onto our bottoms and then roll onto our backs. We're gonna do just a little more core. Feel free to skip it if you're like, look, lady, I'm done. But core, a little core optional if you'd like it. Your hands are gonna be down at your side. Legs are gonna come straight up into the air. We're gonna do some 30, 60, 90. So you're gonna lower your feet about 1/3 of the way. Good. Lower another third. Lower almost above the ground, head and shoulders lift. We'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Head down, legs up. Let's do that 2 more times. Lower a third. Lower another third. Lower almost to the ground, head and shoulders lift. Let's flutter for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Head down, legs lift. Last one. Lower 1/3 of the way. Lower another third. Lower just above the mat, head and shoulders lift. We hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. Bringing our feet up. Let's grab hold of the outside of our feet, taking a nice happy baby. Maybe rocking side to side. Good. Bringing our feet down to the mat. We're going to take just one bridge pose. So setting up, you're going to bring your feet in towards your butt, but not quite touching. Feet hip distance apart. You're going to inhale here, and on your exhale, you're going to draw your navel up towards the sky, lifting your hips, making sure that we're not looking to the side since our neck is in a compromised position. If you'd like to take it a little deeper, you can clasp your hands underneath, rolling your shoulders in. Really press firmly through those feet. Let's hold for 3 more breaths. The bottom of your exhale, unrolling your shoulders if they were. You're going to slowly lower down 1 vertebrae at a time. Good. Bringing your knees into chest. Let's rock side to side. Good. Bringing our feet back down on the mat. Let's take our right foot. We're going to cross it over the left knee. We're coming into reclined pigeon or figure 4. Stay here if you're like, my hip is already screaming. If you'd like a little more, you can bring that left knee into chest, threading the right hand between the legs, clasping your hands behind the left thigh. Right elbow can press against the right knee. Breathe here. Let's take 3 more breaths. The The bottom of your exhale. Go ahead and bring that left foot down to the mat. Right foot follows. Taking that left ankle, let's cross it now over the right. We're switching sides. When you're ready, let's go ahead and draw that right knee in. If that's where you're going, threading the needle as we clasp our hands behind the right thigh. Left elbow comes to left knee. Breathe here. Making sure we're keeping our feet flexed to protect the knee. One more breath. When you're ready, go ahead and bring that right foot down. Left comes to follow. We're going to take one more posture before we come into our Savasana. Go ahead and extend your legs forward. Good. We're going to bring that right knee into chest. Give it a nice squeeze. And when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and kick it up to the sky, shifting our grip so we're interlacing our hands behind that thigh. Both feet are flexed as we keep that left hip grounded. You can stay here, or if you would like to walk your hands up, you can lift your head and shoulders for a little bit of a deeper stretch. Breathe here. Again, keeping those feet flexed, keeping that left hip on the ground. Let's take one more breath here. The bottom of your exhale, head and shoulders come down as we draw that right knee back into our armpit. And then extend it down. Good. Let's bring that left knee in. Give it a nice squeeze into your armpit. And then begin to kick that left foot up into the air, interlacing your hands behind the thigh. Keeping this posture if you're like, this is where I want to be, or if you'd like to extend it, you can lift your head and shoulders, hands walk up the calf as you bring that leg in a little closer. Embrace those shakes if you're getting them. Let's hold it for 2 more breaths. The bottom of your exhale, head and shoulders come down as that left knee comes into chest. Give it a nice big squeeze. And then extending that leg. Taking the next 5 or so breaths to do whatever you need to wind down your practice. Maybe it's another happy baby. Maybe it's a plow pose. Or maybe you're just like, I'm ready for Savasana. I'm going to give y'all the option for Savasana because the sun is like right on y'all. If you would like to take Savasana on your belly, you can with one cheek on the mat. I'll give you a halfway point for you to turn your head. Just an option if you'd like to take it. When you're ready, let's go ahead and find our Savasana, our version. When you get to where you want to be for Savasana, let's take one cleansing breath together, in through the nose, and exhale, sigh it out the mouth. Trusting that no matter what brought you here this morning, you are exactly where you are supposed to be and nowhere else. If you'd like to go ahead and switch your head position, you can. Yeah. Begin to bring gentle movements back into the body. Wiggling your fingers and toes. If you're on your stomach, maybe rolling back onto your back and taking that good morning stretch. With your eyes gently closed, and when you're ready, We'll come back to a comfortable seat at the top of our mat where we began. Bringing our hands to heart center. We bow our heads in gratitude. The divine light in me bows and honors each of you. Thank you for sharing your practice, your breath, your time, and your commitment. Namaste. Thanks, y'all, so much for coming out. We have another date scheduled in May. We're having some teaching conflicts, so stay tuned on social media. Also, GASP newsletter if you signed up for it when you signed up for your donation, for other classes and offerings and things like that. If you want to get more involved with GASP, you can talk to our lovely Gabby over there in the green shirt. She'd love to give you more information about what we do and how you can get involved. If you have any questions, again, my name is Nancy. I don't think I actually told that to y'all at the beginning. So my name is Nancy. If you have any questions, let me know. And again, please stay for brewski if you'd like. Cheers, guys. You're welcome.